Hey everybody, Melissa Sorrentino here. I want to kind of connect with you guys on a personal level, like performer to performer. I think part of the reason why I'm doing this channel is because there is kind of a certain kind of commonality. Obviously, we're all different. We come from all different walks of lives, but we do have kind of an artistic, creative, part of us that draws us to some sort of art form, whether that's writing or painting or acting or singing or any sort of performing. But anything in the kind of art realm, we are kind of creative people. And being creative people, we have tendencies that are not necessarily totally, common among the masses. And I'm sure if you get any subgroup of people that have things in common, they're going to find that they have certain aspects that they might be able to chat up with each other about, that they seem to understand better than somebody kind of that's not really in that bent. So I am always leaning towards artists and fellow people that kind of live sort of steeped in creativity as sort of really honestly part of our oxygen. And here's something that I want to share with you guys. I'm a little older, and I know some of the watchers may be in their 20s, even 30s, but I'm coming upon this even a little bit recently in my life, and I just want to share it for what it's worth. When I have worked in different environments, there are often people that are, kind of assholes. I mean, anywhere you go, there's people that are assholes. Now, only recently would I even be able to point and say I'm perceiving assholeness from this person. I'm perceiving assholeness from that person. I am just not of that personality, where it just took me a lot of years and hard work to be able to own my own empowerment, that I even am qualified to make those types of judgments on people. Now, I don't make them as an overall judgment. I'm still very careful about that, but I will judge their behavior in the interactions with me. And if I can make the judgment and recognize patterns, then I can learn who to sort of drift toward and who to kind of drift away from, and who to keep a professional distance with, and who I can afford to get more personal with. And I know you guys probably know exactly what I'm saying. It's hard to make those definitions, especially for us artists. We tend to be people who we're emotional. We believe in the expression of emotions. We believe in sort of just being authentic and sort of expressing our souls, rather than just we're not very great necessarily at just assembly lining some sort of task without having our personality emerge. And that's what I want to talk about. Being boring. I'm going to really simplify this so it makes very clear sense. It's a simple lesson, and I recommend you just try this one. Pop open the medicine bottle and pop this pill and see if it works. There are times when I'm around assholes that I will basically say, I'm going to be boring. And that's why I wore this super boring gray t-shirt. I don't have any earrings on. My hair's just up. I was like, I am just going to make this video for people and say, it is okay to be boring. Now, when we're actors, especially if you're in Hollywood or some other mecca of acting, but let's just say LA, you're in Hollywood, and your whole Shazam about your life is that you put shit in a car, you drove all the way across from somewhere, left a bunch of people behind that missed you, and you're embracing this lifestyle. You really are kind of you're trying to become self-employed, and your business is acting, and your business card is yourself, and your product is yourself, and your service is yourself, and your marketing is yourself, and your networking is yourself. And so it ends up kind of like weaving into everything that you feel like you always have to be on. And I want to give you the gift that if you're an actor and you've got this palette of all these characters and personas that you can pull from for your acting purposes, I recommend, if you are particularly in an office environment or even in a professional acting or performance environment where you're making money, feel totally safe to be able to kind of spin that palette around and put on the persona of boring. And the reason is this. Sometimes when we are in acting and performance rich environments, we are surrounded by like people. We're all very like on. We're witty. We're funny. We're colorful and bold and silly and goofy and childlike and just this behavior that we all are just embracing as performers and artists. Our eccentricities. When we are in a kind of like normal layperson environment, we, even when we're being kind of just sort of very basic, we tend to almost sort of like have a spotlight that kind of goes toward us because our behavior, in that environment is going to just kind of stick out. It's going to show. It's going to be demonstrated just in who you are. Just in the way you smile. You say, hey, how you doing? People are like, what? It's like, what's this person up to? People can be suspicious of your personality. They can be jealous of it. They can also just be confused. They don't understand. They wonder if maybe you have an agenda. Are you trying to sell me something? Are you trying to beat me for my promotion? Are you trying to garner attention? Are you trying to steal attention from me? There's all kinds of questions that come up in people's minds. And sometimes it ends up putting us in a position where we're sort of targeted for abuse. Somebody's trying to quench that light and put that light out because it makes them uncomfortable. And when you recognize that's happening, it can start to get in the way of your job security itself. If somebody really kind of has it out for you or a jealousy issue or something of that nature, we need to be very careful. So I've done a lot of study in like narcissism and codependence and flying monkeys and gray rock and all the narcissism terms and stuff like that. So I have like a really deep well of information that I've studied for years on these subjects. Read a lot of books by a lot of experts. I've taken a lot of online courses, and I'm actually to a point where I kind of popped out the other side and I got what I needed so I could just live my life. And then I allowed that to drop so I wouldn't become obsessive and start to get paranoid that everybody's a narcissist or that my behavior, putting myself under a microscope. So really, I came out with some things that are very basic that I actually can use. And I think you can kind of cherry pick this one. When you're in an environment where you feel like you are not being appreciated for your personality, and you get even just the slightest hint of that, just drift into boring land. Play sort of a boring character for the day while you're temping at work, for the phone call while you're talking to a heated customer, for the interaction with a coworker. If they seem like they're kind of really getting on your case about something or maybe micromanaging you, that could be something coming from their own insecurity about maybe being jealous, or even in a professionally performance environment, you could be in that environment where someone is a little bit worried that your spotlight might be getting more attention than their spotlight. Sometimes the very best position to take is just go gray. They call it gray rock in the narcissistic abuse community. Just go gray. Just fade into some sort of furniture, the background, a little, smile, laugh, but just sort of don't even allow your natural person, that fun liveliness, just back off of it, at least for a little while, just to give you some headspace, and also to get other people who may be uncomfortable with the more artsy personality to just have a break from you, or to focus on something else so you can kind of just get back to work. I highly recommend this. I have had great success in many an administrative environment. People don't even know that I'm a performer because I'm actually sort of performing when I'm at the job as someone that's not a performer. You understand that if you understand the layers of acting. But when you're the character who isn't you, you can just live from that place and have a much more peaceful experience in a workplace. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys are clicking your likes and subscribing if you want to see more from me. I know that some of the concepts that I talk about might be like, what is she getting at? And I'm not getting at anything. I'm just improvising my way through making videos. Some hit, some don't hit, and I'm okay with that because I don't have an agenda here except just to be myself and to put some things out in the world that I've learned and hope that on occasion something's gonna like ring a little bell within you and they're gonna chime at the same time and you're gonna go, wow, you know, that little term helped me, or that little bit of information led me down another like new rabbit hole that I hadn't sought, and then now I've found some freedom in my world, in my soul. It feels better. I feel more authentic. I feel more free. I feel more empowered. I feel more capable, or just, you know, maybe feel more happy. Okay, take care. Bye.